Christmas came early this week. President Donald Trump's eldest son tweeted late Monday after news that the Pentagon had authorized $1 billion in new border wall construction with Mexico. Just don't tell him to read the comments on his tweet. Get push notifications with news, features and more. Following you'll get the latest updates on this topic in your browser notifications. In the hours after Donald Trump Jr. gloated about the spending, which Democrats swiftly denounced, thousands of his supporters and detractors duked it out in the replies. Some, like Don Jr., celebrated the Pentagon's move. One user wrote, "What a beautiful wall we got." Tweeted another, "Keep up the great work." But many others were quick to snap back at the gushing mood, which was already high among conservatives after Robert Mueller completed his Russia investigation last week and said he had not found any conspiracy with the president. One user replied to Don Jr., "Why don't you build a wall around yourself? You morons really think that building a wall is going to stop illegals coming over? Or stop drugs from being sold in the United States? Cocaine and heroin are still going strong, and spoiler alert, they don't just coming from Mexico." Another user, mocking the euphoria of some of the president's fans, wrote, "This report is declared that President Trump is the best president America has ever had. Charisma and charm. Hair like a cotton candy Cadillac. He gave up his billionaire lifestyle so that we could be free. Let the gold trickle down into our awaiting bindle sticks." Yemen. Still others poked some fun at the awkward construction of Don Jr.'s tweet. "Yes, Christmas comes, but once a week, you wet brain," one user wrote to him. On Monday, the Department of Defense announced it had authorized $1 billion for the Department of Homeland Security's request to build 57 miles of 18-foot-high pedestrian fencing, constructing and improving roads, and installing lighting within the Yuma and El Paso sectors of the border. The president has made a southern border wall a central part of his administration, though polls show it is generally unpopular. Democrats have said it would be ineffective, and a recent fight over funding led to a government shutdown. In February, Trump declared a national emergency and announced he would essentially find the money for his wall under pre-existing appropriations, without money from Congress. While the announcement mentioned the president's national emergency declaration, the funds it authorized are actually under a separate anti-drug law. As NPR explains, the statute cited gives the Pentagon authority to build fences and take other measures to support federal law enforcement agencies that are working to stop drug trafficking. Still, the DOD said in a news release the funding would be in support of Trump's national emergency. Congressional Democrats quickly disapproved of the move, according to CNN. 10 senators from various committees signed onto a letter stating, "We strongly object to both the substance of the funding transfer and to the department implementing the transfer without seeking the approval of the congressional defense committees and in violation of provisions in the defense appropriation itself." As a result, we have serious concerns that the department has allowed political interference in pet projects to come ahead of many near-term, critical readiness issues facing our military. Democrats, with some Republicans, passed legislation to overturn Trump's border national emergency, but the president vetoed it and Democrats are unlikely to have the majorities need to override him. The ultimately legality of the move remains in dispute. Within days of his declaration, 16 states had joined together to sue Trump, arguing he violated Congress's ultimate authority over spending.